Jason's barbershop is fucking closed.
Yes, it is, man.
It's just such bullshit. Hello, I'm Artem Brusensov, joined by my host, the Bear. As per usual, Declan Morrissey with 2 R's, 2 S's, 3 Y's, and 1 C. And today, we're going to start off by talking about some of
Barbers.
our favorite books.
No, barbers.
What?
We're gonna start by talking about our favorite barbers to start off, man.
Yeah, and how I can't get a haircut because everyone is closed.
Exactly. That's why you do the old Clayton haircut,
I
man.
was just gonna say, I'm really considering driving to Target and just buying some clippers and and then sending him a picture.
Yeah, I'm considering doing the same thing to be honest, because it's rough, man. But we'll
I mean,
see.
it's like when it's like I think it was like a year ago, year and a half ago. Remember, like Cam gave me a haircut in
Oh,
the alumni bathroom, and like I was like, just trim it down like a little bit because like he was confident in his abilities, and then like he like tried to trim it down a little bit. It just like looked terrible. So we just ended up like, I mean, we basically gave me a buzz cut because it just like looked terrible.
yeah, dude. No, I remember that, man. That's some rough days, man.
Somehow, like all of my friends that I like the people I knew that lived in alumni somehow all walked in as I was getting that haircut, and they were like, "What's going on?" I was just like, "Hey, nothing."
Yeah, dude, man. Dude, honestly, those fucking haircuts in the bathroom. Like, I remember doing his when he was living with me, doing his hair all the time, and it was just a shit show, dude. Like, I don't know why the heck we were doing that. 'Cause especially like the one I know, like his brother Simon, he's pretty decent. Like, he did me once. It was not bad. Like, it wasn't proper, but it was also like it's not some shit. So if you were gonna go to someone, you should go to Simon. Like, that's the only one who actually I know from that family that can actually do like a decent job. So shout out to Simon with 1 S and no R's.
All right, I like that. Now that no one knows who the hell we're talking about at all, let's go to books, son.
All right, man. 2 books. Well, uh, should we just start like a when you say favorite, like favorite all time or like favorite at the moment
Uh,
doing this?
well, let's go both. Why not?
Well, honestly, because it's like all time, man. That's a hard man. Like, I don't know if I have like one book that is like my all time favorite, but I think I have like top three, and one of them would be the Jordan Peterson book, like 12 Rules for Life. That would be one. Uh, how is that the name? It was like yeah, like the Way of the Superior Man, something like that. I don't remember who's the author to be honest, but pretty small book. I really liked it a lot. And another one, actually, yeah, Mastery by Robert Greene. That one, that is a really good book. I feel like you have to read it like twice because it's like so much information in it. Like any book by him is like so much information. Like you kind of have to either take it really slow and like go through the same chapter, or go through it and then kind of go through it again, maybe again, because you really like pick out all the good stuff. Because otherwise, it's so many small little hidden gems. But I would say like, those are my top three, like all time.
Just, I gotta like. Okay. There were
I feel
books by my bed, so I had to just
I
grab
wanna
those.
can I just guess yours? It's gonna be like one about mitochondria, another one about mitochondria, and mitochondria again.
You're wrong, you son of a bitch. Um, so wait, you said top three favorite books all time.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh shit, that's hard.
you can say like top one if you just have one, but I
No,
don't really
I
have one,
um, I mean my favorite. I think my favorite book of all time is Human Bioenergetics and its applications. It's just like exercise physiology, human bioenergetics, and its applications. The fourth edition. Um, it was awesome. I mean, it's like 900 pages, and it was like it was like a hard read. Um, but it was so enjoyable. And like it was just like so much information that I'm gonna have to go back and read it again for sure. But like, um, it was so fucking good. Oh my God. Um, and then I think another one is probably uh, like the Science and Practice of Muscle Hypertrophy by Brad Schoenfeld,
Ooh, that's a good one actually.
because that one's like it's only like 200 pages or something like that, but somehow he like just rips into it. I like it's just so good. Um, fuck, there's so many that I love. Um, the Physiology of Joints series I love. Um,
What about that hip book, The Pelvic Girdle? Would you put it up
oh,
there?
so good. That one is like I love that more than I love the thorax. I gotta reread the pelvic girdle. Oh, now you just have me on like a shit.
I'm surprised
Um,
you haven't mentioned any mitochondria because I would expect at least one book about mitochondria.
well, I mean, well, he does go in on the mitochondria in the bioenergetics book. Um,
There we go.
there is another book that I'm like totally, I don't remember the name of it all, but it's like molecular. I don't remember what it's called at all, but like it's like the densest book I've ever read because you're just like, what the hell is going on? Oh, there's another one. It's like a blue book. It's like navigating metabolism or something like that. Also, such a good book, but it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that one's like a hard read, um, and it's only like 200 pages, but it's like, whoa, that was a lot of information right there. I might have to go. I might have to go back and reread that again too. Um, there's just so many that I have to go back and reread. And then, but like this book, The Principles of Neural Design, which I think like just came out, is really good. Um, because it's like it goes in on like how like why your brain is the way it is, uh, which is like interesting to me because like I just it's like why stuff is built the way it's built is cool.
Yeah.
And then like this one is kind of the same thing. It's called What is Health? Um, and it's like why the human body is designed the way it's designed. So it's like they're both like pretty interesting books. Yeah, and then
Good
so
question.
those are two like my current favorites.
Well, I have a question for you on this topic then. Like, are you being sponsored by any of these, book companies?
Unfortunately, no.
That sucks, man.
If
That's not,
anyone wants to sponsor me, if Human Kinetics wants to sponsor me, then I'll take it. Um,
so, but like, where do you find all these books? Do you just go on Amazon and order them, or do you have some
yeah,
other, black market sources?
I mean, I'll literally just like go on Amazon and I let me see if I can. I can't get to it with my phone. But like, let me see here. Amazon. Yeah, like it just pops right up. I mean, like I don't even know how I find these to be honest, but like I have um, like a wish list on Amazon that every time I find a book or someone recommends a book, I just like put it on there. So like right now I have like sports injury, like I have a sports injury book. I have a like a tensegrity book. I have two tensegrity books. I have a bunch of like books on stress, a medical biochemistry book, physiology of bone, nutrition, fascia, vision, physical therapy, another joint structure book, more stress, more stress, more stress. Manual therapy books coming out the ass here. Um, Benjamin Bickman's book,
Dude, fuck.
more manual therapy, endocrinology, a fatigue book, Another good book. Like just a bunch of like it's just like a metric shit ton of like sports books.
Mm. Dude, but have you read any books by Sapolsky, like Robert Sapolsky?
Yeah, I read both of his books.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Wait, so you read like Behave?
Yeah.
Dude, how long did it take you to finish that thing?
That was another one where it was like this is so cool. Like it's kind of like my current like favorite book is definitely his Anti-Fragile. And it was like that. Like, I also had a shit ton of time. I don't remember when I read it, is the thing. Like,
Mm.
when did I read that? Because I feel like maybe it was over like a summer. I don't remember when I read that at all. But like, I just remember having like an abundance of time.
Just getting after it.
Yeah, and I just like absolutely ripped into it. And it was just like so good.
Yeah.
Um,
Kudos to you, man. That's it's
yeah,
impressive.
like it was really, I mean, it was interesting. It wasn't like crazy, like revolutionary to me, but like it was definitely interesting and like um, it was like cool because like we learn about like something I distinctly remember
Mm.
was that like the beta endorphins and and like testosterone, like two things that are released during exercise, have like different effects on your brain other than like the beta endorphins have like a blunting effect of pain, but it's also like they make you like friendlier and like more outgoing. And then like the cool thing is like he delves into like the psychology of like injecting yourself with performance enhancing drugs.
Mm.
And like the testosterone, I guess it like makes you more of like whatever you already are. So if like you're a really nice guy, like you just are a really nice guy. If you're like a raging asshole, then it makes you like a raging asshole. Um, so like that was kind of cool. I'm trying to
Have
remember.
have you read the book, like The Problem with Testosterone? Like that one by him?
No,
Okay.
like I've read like the two, like I've read Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers,
Yeah.
which was like what just happened to my brain. Um, and yeah, there's like a good podcast with him too, where he goes like why zebras don't get ulcers like plus, and it's like kind of nice. But yeah, like another one of my current faves is this one.
Oh, look at you, man.
Yeah, it's just a book about Leonardo da Vinci that truthfully like was recommended to me by the founder of PRI. But like I really enjoy the Italian Renaissance, to be honest. Um, and this book is like also like 500 pages, so that's gonna be fun.
Is it an autobiography or is it what is it?
Um, no, it's a biography
Mm.
by Walter Isaacson, and
Interesting.
I don't really care about like learning anything about like life or whatever from him, but I just really enjoy I enjoy history sometimes. So
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Yeah, I'm not that much into history. Like I kind of like it, but I don't know. Like the one good biography I remember reading is Martin Luther King. That was a really good one. Like I really like that one. That was really good. Like just like it was really well put. And yeah, but like besides that, I don't really like read too many I feel like autobiographies because I don't know. I feel like they're all very similar. Like I've heard the Benjamin Franklin one is supposed to be really good, and like Abraham Lincoln. But besides that, it's like I don't know. I feel like they all usually talk about the same. So if it's like unlike if it's not someone that I really really adore and just worship like you, then I just don't see the point of this.
yeah, I mean I like that was me too. Like I read I like love Theodore Roosevelt. So I read it wasn't a biography, but I read a it was like his like hunting journal from when he went hunting in Africa. And it was really good, to be honest. And he's just like being a man and like going out there and like shooting rhinos in the face before like shooting rhinos in the face was illegal. So it's like pretty interesting.
Sounds like a good read though.
It was.
Dude, you know what's also a good read? This article on Rebel Performance.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Solid, fam. Solid. Would you like to tell us a bit more about it?
Oh God. All right. I hate you.
You gotta give me that.
That was a good segue. Yeah, I mean, basically, the idea came because so it's about vision and like sports performance. Um, and I decided that I was going to write it because the massage therapist, manual therapist at Cressy's, did like this visual thing to a guy, and it like minorly improved his shoulder flexion. So I was like, huh, I remember learning about that. Let's write an article about it because the senior editor, I don't remember what it's called, senior editor, chiefy chief, Dustin LaBelle. If he's listening, I'm really sorry that I'm definitely mispronouncing your last name. But he reached out to me like last month, maybe a month and a half ago, and was just like, "Hey, do you want to write an article for Rebel Performance because we're looking for new content?" I was like, "Fucking, of course I want to write an article." So I did. Um, and like truthfully, this is gonna sound so rude, but I just don't care. The other articles that are up there, like with mine, like I'm just gonna go on the website right now.
Oh Lord, here we
Oh man, he just knows what's gonna happen. Like the, I mean, they're not like bad articles. You know what I mean?
go. No, no, they're
Uh,
just cool.
but like, it's just like, you know, it's like one's like a how to maintain your strength and mass while you're stuck at home. Um, and then there's a bunch of stuff, blah blah blah. And then there's like the tale of two athletes unlock the keys to explosive power. Which is a three-part article. Um, and if you haven't read like Speed and Velocity Training or something like that by Ty Terrell and what's the other guy's name? Tony Guillermo. I don't remember how to say his last name. But if you haven't read it, like it's an iFast book. If you just go to their website, you can buy the book. It's a fucking great book. Um, and like it goes into like how you can assess athletes with velocity-based training, and then uh, like basically there's like two different kinds of athletes. Like actually, I think you and I are probably a pretty good example. Like there's like a gorilla athlete and a kangaroo athlete. So like one is like very like twitchy and like has really really good like stretch shortening cycle reflexes, but like can't produce high levels of force. So like on a velocity based training software, if you're using like a Tendo or a GymAware, it'd be like if you and I are going to 1 RM against each other, like yours would be like 1.0, like 9.3, like you'd slowly like go down and down and down, and then like if we were back squatting, you would like it would be like 0.47, which is like a pretty like fast back squat, as for like a 1 RM. And then so like the coach would be like, oh, like you can definitely go heavier, add like 5 to 10 pounds, and you'd add that, and then you'd fail, even though you weren't near like the failure velocity. And then for me, it would like slowly chip away, and then my last rep would be like 0.31. Like it would be like at failure velocity. And then if we were to go like what's it called? If we were to go like depth drop testing for like reactive strength index, or not, that's like not a great example. If we were to go like counter movement jump height, I guess maybe like I don't really know what like a really good. I guess like you know what like pogo hops like over hurdles
Yeah, yeah.
with like measured like ground contact time. Um, you would have like a really fast ground contact time. Like you wouldn't be on the ground for very long to get over the hurdles, and your boy would be like loading and then like getting up like really slowly to get over the hurdles because like I'm trying to use more like muscular force and you're trying to use more like tendinous structure to get over the thing. So like that's like the difference basically. And then it's cool because like in the book they have like these two different ways to train the two different athletes like to be better at like the other end of the force velocity curve.
Mm.
So it's like a pretty good book. Yeah, but that's like what that article is about. That was like the longest fucking rant ever. And let's see here. And then there's like 5 steps to get strong AF without feeling like a dumpster fire. Um, like you're not working hard enough. 5 steps to nonstop gains. Manage stretch inside and outside the gym to get the most out of your life and training. And intensity progressions for optimal pain-free performance, which are like not bad articles. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But like, Rebel Performance is just like the place. If you're just like, when I was 4 years ago, when I was interning with Northeastern University, like Rebel Performance was like this just like badass place where it was like, like Davidson was dropping articles about like fucking hormones and like what you needed to know and like going deep. And like, like Michelle dropped an article that was about the athletes like experience in the weight room, like how the athletes' atoms and like the photons they get from the weight room like redefine their experience in the weight room and like push them basically into like PRI defined positions. It was crazy and like just like deep into the weeds. So I was like, all right, I have to do that. So I decided to make it about like how your sphenoid like changes how your orbitals are positioned and like which changes how your eyes are positioned, which um and like the scary thing is like I didn't even get into the fucking like real weeds. Like I could have gone deeper and I didn't.
Yeah.
Um
Well, that's the thing too, because I kind of like it, because like you said as well, I feel like most websites are kind of just becoming this. It's like the same thing everywhere you go, like every performance. Or I feel like the one thing is kind of like I said, they're becoming a lot. I feel like all of these sites are becoming a lot of like the men's health. Like
yeah.
that page. It's kind of where it's just like 5 ways to get bigger biceps. What you've been doing. It's like or like this. It's like the most typical stuff where it's like, yeah, sure, but it's not really that interesting anymore. There's like way more interesting topics that you could write about or talk about. So it's like and that's the thing too. That's kind of why I feel lots of people maybe lose interest in sites like that. So, but again, I think it's also just because it's more of a chance someone's gonna click and read it if it says, oh, like 5 ways to get abs or how to tone your body for the summer, so like
Right.
compared to, oh, like, this is how you can fix your pelvic. So like, I was like,
Yeah.
just say this weird shit, man, so it's like, it is a kind of like that. That's the kind of society we live in because we have to think about, it's a business and you have to, make profits. So it's,
Yeah. I'm considering writing one in like sacral nutation and counter nutation once I get my hands back on the pelvic girdle, just because like I feel like people are like throwing terms around nowadays where it's just like, because like Bill Hartman is like fucking nutation, counter nutation, and dorsal rostral expansion. You're like, dude, okay, wait, stop. Like, wait. Like before you start saying that too, like, let's get you like, so it, if I manage to get back to my home in NH, then I'll probably write that article.
live free or die.
Live free or die, motherfucker. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I just like, and that I agree with you. That's like why I wrote the article the way I did.
Yeah.
Um, and like I don't know what happened here, but whatever. I like basically, like the the whole like visual like correction thing. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of throw everything I have at this dude. Um, and you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna throw everything I have at him, and like basically like structured what I thought would help him in a way that made sense. And then with like the integration, um, I just like I just kind of made stuff up, to be honest with you. Like in terms of like the integration, I was like, I think this is gonna work. Um, I don't really know, but I think this is gonna work. Um, like, so yeah, I don't know.
Dude, but I have a question though. Like, did you choose the pictures, like the picture about yourself, like about the author, that section,
Yeah,
or
I chose that picture.
okay, because it's a very good picture, man.
Thank you. I have no like I
And
have
also,
no like headshots, so I just was like, fuck it.
but also, like, who's the stud though? In the article in those pictures.
Oh, does it not say? Because
I don't know. Like, I don't remember it saying, but maybe it does say. Like, I don't think it does.
I hope it says, because he's a tank. He's the man. His name is Tim Dempsey. Um, and like truthfully, like you shouldn't know who that is yet. Um,
Okay, well, don't maybe write down. Don't say anything, man.
but he interned with me at Cressy's. He like just left. Um, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, Tim Dempsey, he's the man. He's like 37. He's got a kid, and he just like moved down to Florida literally just to be a Cressy Sports Performance intern. Like brought his wife down, brought his kid down. Um, he's the man. And he just like I'm trying to remember other like things about him. He's from Boston, um, originally, and he like he's just got like the most badass. He's just got like the most badass like record of like physical injury and like sporting performance that I've ever heard from someone I like have known personally. And because he went to UConn
Mm.
to play baseball, and he like played a bunch of different positions, like shredded his UCL and like his shoulder to the point where he'd like throw with guys at Cressy's and be like, "Yep, I gotta go take some ibuprofen now," and just like walk out to take like 6 ibuprofens because he was in so much pain. Uh,
Jeez, man.
yeah, like what else did he do? And yeah, he was just like he was the man, and he just was like, and like so I normally trained at night at Cressy's, and like he would train in the mornings, and so he would come in And most mornings I would like walk in and he was like doing something just like strange for balance on like the TRXs, um, or like just doing like a crazy like body weight circuit. Like he was the man, and he what does he do? But like there was something else that I wanted to mention. I don't know, but he's now living in Cary, North Carolina, like right outside of Durham, I think, or Raleigh. I don't know, somewhere in North Carolina. I think he's in Cary, and so he uh, is basically trying to be a like baseball performance consultant. Um, so
Okay.
like just super smart dude, super nice guy. If you're for some reason in Cary, North Carolina, try to find Tim Dempsey because he's a badass motherfucker.
Alright, man. Will do.
That's all I have to say on the matter.
That's good, man. Jeez, man. This dude sounds like just like a fucking shit show.
No, he's like he so he like in the article I honestly I sent the article to Dustin. He was like, "Yeah, I'll edit it, whatever." And like, I have not looked. I have not read the article all the way through since he posted it. So I really don't know what he kept and what he chopped. But in there, like Tim, after I'd done all that stuff to him, which was like 10 minutes of stuff, he just like looks at me and is like, "Huh, my knee pain is gone." And just starts laughing. And I was like, "Oh, that's great, Tim."
God.
So like, somehow like I got a polyarticular chain from like your sphenoid to like your occiput, trap, SCM into like your chest down to your pelvis, which shifted your knee into a better position. So like somehow I got that dude's knee pain to go away, which I actually didn't think was going to happen. Like I was really just going for like better balance when I made him do all that stuff. Um, like I didn't think his knee pain was gonna fucking go away. I thought it was gonna be because he just kept saying, "Oh, it's like bone on bone. Like I have nothing in my right knee. It's like just screwed." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, my knee pain's gone." It's like, huh, that is just wonderful news.
That's fucked, man. That is so messed
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
up. Just,
I
just
like
send.
I yeah. I mean, there are just like sometimes where like where I would try to be like, "Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Like your sphenoid shifting was clearly gonna cause like it was clearly the cause of your knee pain." But like I'm not that good. So like I just like I had no idea what the fuck was gonna happen. I was just like, hey, like I'm just looking for like some like a better SLDL. Like that's all I have, man. And it was better. So
So
I'm a
nice.
happy yeah, I'm a happy camper. Like that's all I really needed.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. 'Cause I would have loved to see though how it would have like his knee pain would have gotten worse. Like what would have happened there, man? Because that would have been something else. Where said, kind of comes to you just to help, and then walks away taking 10 ibuprofens because fuck, it's hurting, man.
Yeah, I mean he said he felt great. It's like
It's good, man, but yeah.
that last one that I have him do where it's just like just doing one of these to a wall, like you're just like, oh my god, it's like the worst thing ever because you like come out of it and you're just like, whoa, the world is bright. It's like that. Honestly, it's like that feeling you get like right before you pass out.
What the fuck? Like how? Well,
It's
how
like
would you know what it feels like to pass out?
I don't want to talk about it, but like the world just gets like really bright, and you're like, wow, and then just like darkness, and like basically like that's exactly what it feels like when you come out of that if you've done it right.
But not except for the darkness. Like there's just like
Yeah,
bright.
like you come out of it, you're just like, oh wow, I can see colors again. So it's like it's freaky. It's freaky. I think I had him reach too much during that, but whatever. We're just going with it. Yeah. So that was my reasoning behind the article. Thanks for being a good interviewer.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, it's always nice, when one of the co-hosts does something very, outstanding, and for the community especially.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So that is very awesome.
Yeah, I think the next article might be. I don't know. I have a few articles in the works for that site. It all, yeah, it all depends really, because.
You can write an article about trend, or like about trend, using trend.
Oh yeah, I could. It's a good point.
That or you could use, or I mean, use. Gee. Yeah, how about that? Maybe steroids. How that has affected, how that affects your vision. Still staying on topic.
Wow, that'd be crazy. I just don't want to be known as the vision guy.
Nah, nah,
That's just weird,
yeah,
you know.
don't do that.
But yeah, I'm trying to pump a few more out before shit gets real busy. So, I also don't know if coronavirus is gonna. Some people are projecting this to not be gone for years. They're like, we're gonna have to live like this for years. I'm like, right, okay, 100% for sure.
For fuck's sake, dude! Like, jeez, man. People, like, I'm telling you, man. Like, we're gonna talk about this again now, but it's just it's messed up, dude. Like, it's gonna be there, but it will be gone. I'd say latest May. In May, I think it should be gone by then.
Yeah,
Like, shouldn't be like this anymore.
yeah, I'd agree. Actually, though, that reminds me of there's just a fucking amazing, amazing quote in Anti-Fragile. So in Anti-Fragile, right, like, he's talking about like basically like variability of an organism and like adaptation, right, and like under the guise of anti-fragility, which I thought was like resilience to stress. Anti-fragility is when you like get better from stress. So you could think of it like he does a really like the quote that like made me realize what it is like whatever doesn't kill me or whatever kills me makes you stronger. So like
Mhm.
if I don't even know. Like but if like, you know, we were running together and I was dehydrated and I suffered from heat shock and died from that, then that would make you less prone to being dehydrated and going for a run in the Florida humidity. Do you know what I mean? So like it makes you stronger because I died. Like you are like less likely to die because I died.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like not it can be like an evolutionary sense, but like not necessarily an evolutionary sense. So it's like pretty cool. And so he was talking about it. He was talking about that sort of thing. And he his other book is called there's a series of books he writes and one of them is called The Black Swan Theory, which is like basically like dealing with life's just like completely random out of the blue unpredictable events. Um, and he's writing about that in Anti-Fragile as well a little bit. And he's just like, yeah, um, really, when we're dealing with something called the black swan theory, you need to, the organism needs to either be ready for the shock or get ready to say goodbye. And that's like all he says about it. And I just like kind of started laughing, like because that's kind of where we're at with coronavirus. Is like there's no vaccine, there's no cure, like there's like nothing you could do. So like you just kind of either need to be like prepared for the shock of getting coronavirus or like say goodbye. Like which is like kind of, rude and mean to the people who are like, 60 plus or whatever and have, lung issues, but it's like,
Have to go.
yeah, it's like you kind of just need to be like you've either been getting ready for this your whole life or you've been neglecting getting ready for this your whole life.
Okay.
Like more or less. Like you've either been like a chain smoker your whole life or you haven't smoked in your life. And it's like like you've either been like exercising and trying to be healthy or like you haven't been. So like that's why I love Anti-Fragile, to be honest. It's like, you know what, like it's just time to get hit by stressors and just see what you survive. See what makes you better.
Yeah, it sounds awful saying it that, but it's the truth. Though. Like, you can't do
Yeah.
more.
Like I was just laughing because it's just like so blunt. You know what I mean? Instead of like trying to like kind of get around it, he's just like, hey, either you're ready for this or it's time to say goodbye. There's no in between.
Mm.
And like I think that fortunately, the vast majority of the people out there are pretty ready to deal with coronavirus. Um,
Yeah, that's it. So as well. Actually.
in terms of like the actual illness, I don't know if anyone was really prepared to deal with um, the potential of like economic collapse and losing jobs and all that stuff. But like, it's funny, like he talks about that in there too, with the example of the um, Fukushima like nuclear reactor going under. But you look like you have something to say, so you go say it.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, but like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that's the funny thing too. 'Cause it was really funny though this week on Monday. Everybody goes out saying that you keep your distance, like when you're taking the trains or buses, and then just because we're so funny here in Sweden, they they fucking decide to cut down traffic. So less trains are going and less buses are going, which means that there's gonna be more people packed because it's like very few buses going. So it's like it backfires the idea. Because what I understood was that by having less buses go, there's a less chance of getting you know, uh, infected. But I don't think they thought about that. If there's less buses going, that means that more people need to catch this one bus. Otherwise, it's like so. It's just kind of funny, man, like that, Because I was talking to some friends, and I was like, "This doesn't make any sense at all." It's
Yeah.
just, I'm like, "What were you thinking? Were you like, who even thought of this idea?" Where it's like, "Yeah, let's cut down traffic, fam. That sounds great." Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Like, and that's something else he kind of talks about in the book too, is like the anti-fragility of like the individual is the anti-fragility of the population, but the anti-fragility of the population is also the anti-fragility of the individual. So it like goes both ways. So like, now is like a pretty good time to like look at it like that. Like, in the US, like the anti-fragility of like the individual, like I strongly believe that I would be okay if I got coronavirus. Like I think it would be like a bad flu and I'd be okay. So like but then like right, I'd have antibodies to it. So that would make me anti-fragile to it. Then but the anti-fragility of the population impacts my anti-fragility because like if the government shuts down and suddenly like I don't have a job, like so that and like I have money saved, but like that means like the anti-fragility of the government to deal with the stressor like needs to be enough to get me through the time as well. So it's like the anti-fragility, like the population and the individual, like influence the other.
Mm.
Um, and then, but like he talks about statistics, and like every time I see someone say like the the hospital beds aren't going to be enough, like we don't have enough supplies, we don't have enough of this, we go off of like what the worst has been, not what the worst like unthinkably could be. Like, so he uses the Fukushima nuclear reactor incident,
Yeah.
where like they built a nuclear reactor where like it could withstand like a certain level of like earthquake.
Mm.
Um, so it was like, a level like 5 on the Richter scale or whatever, which is like, I believe like the worst Japan has ever seen. And they got hit with like a level like 5.8 or whatever it was. Like I don't remember, but it was like above whatever
Yeah.
the reactor was built to deal with. So like they built it off of like, okay, what's the worst we've ever gotten? Not like what's the absolute like worst thing we could do. Right? Like they didn't build it for like a level 10 earthquake like on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, and it's like kind of thinking about this like as I was reading the book, I was like, well, like if you like don't know what like enough is ever going to be based off of statistics. Like, like it's like if this, God forbid, ever happens again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy food for 2 weeks again. But this time it lasts 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Like, or whatever, right? Like, then it's like, I don't know that like it's not enough this time. And so like, I'm not prepared for the shock and time to say goodbye.
But on that topic, actually, though, because I feel like it's so hard, to go and buy food for 2 weeks. Because I really maybe just like me personally, but I'm awful at estimating like how much I'm gonna need. So like, you look at it like, yeah, I should have just like 2 weeks, and then you'd start gone in 4 days. So it's it's kind of like it's a struggle, man. Because I was actually doing what was it? It was I think it was last week. I was going to the store and I was like packing up and stuff. I'm like, in case so like the stores would close. I'm thinking like, okay, I feel this is enough because we also have some stuff at home as well. But I'm like, how do we know? Because I see other people have like 2 carts, fucking, have this massive list, like A4 paper, like going through, checking. Like, I have like my little phone, like maybe like items on it. So, but man, like, does man need to get more or not? Like, I'm like so fucking damn confused because I see people just losing their shit like that. It's ridiculous, man. It's just utterly ridiculous. So that is a struggle as well, I feel, man. But the one
Yeah,
thing I will say though, man, is that the best way to defend yourself against Corona is to do cajun. You do cajun, man, you will have the immunity of fucking Caesar.
I think
You,
I texted you this yesterday after I had done it. Like,
no, but that's what I thought. Because it's from you. Because it's so true, though. Like if you do this stuff, like you will. If that doesn't kill you, nothing will get through you, man. That's just. I'm totally agreeing with that, man. Like with that comment. So to
yeah,
all you fuckers out there, I feel like you're sick.
the actual text I sent to you was, I am positive that if this doesn't kill me, Corona won't be able to. Like, which is so true. Like, the phase 2 Cajun is literally one of the worst things I've ever done to myself. And I just like, I and it's, but it was just a big win yesterday because like I
Just
didn't throw up.
phase 3. That's when you're gonna.
Exactly. Like phase 3 is going to flatten me, and I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. There's no surviving that thing, man. It's the worst part of all is, I always try to do it when there's no people around because I don't want them to see, how humiliating it is to just lay there like just fucking They're just completely done for it, man. So yeah, it's like, if it's possible, like go when there's no one at the gym.
Well,
That's the
that's like my issue too. Is that like normally I do it in like the mornings when there's like one other person there. Like
yeah,
he's the one who like
yeah,
lets me into the facility. Like yesterday, I just keep sneaking in whenever um they're like there's like a single coach in the facility. But yesterday they were recording like videos for the exercise database. So like I'm in the background just like and like and then and like banging trap our deads and like all this stuff and like I'm just dying in the background of their videos and like and then I'm like fuck, like they're both standing right by the bathroom, so they're like gonna see me if I run to throw up.
uh,
And like obviously I'm not gonna like walk to the trash can and be like ugh,
yeah.
like so I just like had to like lay there until the feeling of like I'm going to vomit went away. And then I had to like sit up and stay there until like the feeling of I'm gonna vomit went away. And then I had to stand up and just stand there until the feeling of I'm gonna vomit went away. And then I had to like clean up all the stuff and like spray it down and just be like, okay, you're definitely not gonna vomit. You're definitely not gonna vomit. You're definitely gonna vomit. You're definitely not gonna vomit. Like just trying to like get through it all. It was the worst thing ever.
Jeez, man.
And
That's
I'm so convinced that like I mean, yeah. Like I was joking with the internship coordinator at Cressy's that like um, coronavirus is basically like the symptoms for coronavirus are the exact same as for MAS 2. You get short of breath, your whole body hurts, you feel like you're gonna
that's
die.
so wrong. That is so
Like
wrong.
you have trouble breathing. What else is it? You like start coughing. Like I don't know. I've never coughed during MAS 2 unless you count the like the like you're doing over the toilet.
Oh,
And then what else is it? It's like shortness of breath and coughing, right? And then a fever. And yeah, like a fever because you're just like
there's a
you're
man.
so hot. So it's the same thing as coronavirus. Oh man.
That is just so wrong. So fucking wrong. My fucking.
Oh man.
But I think I will say this that I don't. For me, the worst part I know about this whole fucking mass 1 or 2 is the 30-30. I still think that is the worst thing because like 20-40 is bad, but I still think that 30-30 is worse in that it's the higher reps and the lesser amount of rest. That's like what really, like for me personally, because it's like doing 10 reps, like higher weights, like yeah, it sucks. It's fucking brutal, but doing the 15, like the extra 5 is just even though it's less, rounds, that really just fucking hits the fucking nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think hmm, I think that they're both really hard for like entirely different reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if like the 2040 is hard because like it's 6 rounds and like it's pretty heavy, and just like trying to get through like all 6 rounds, like because that's the mistake I always make every single fucking time. I'm like, the first like 3 rounds, I'm like, this is like not really that bad, and then like 4, 5, and 6, I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
every single time, I like never don't make that mistake,
yeah.
and then like and then like the 30-30, you just like know the pain is coming.
Yeah, even round one. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you just know that shit is gonna hurt
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, dude, like, not gonna lie, doing Mass 2 kind of makes me miss Mass 1 because now that I look back, man, like I feel like 30-30 was really easy. There was like you have push-ups, sled pulls, well, said push. What fuck was it? Like, goblet squat. It just all those stuff look so fucking nice at the moment now. Like looking back, and I'm like, I would actually not mind doing that instead of doing this crap that I'm doing.
Yeah, I
It,
feel like
it's ridiculous when you think about it, man.
for some reason I think in Mass 2, I don't know why this is having me do this right now. For Mass 1, like he gives you like I feel like he gives you like options for like an A day and a B day or something like that, you know? Like he just it's like way better than Mass 2 because it's like there's just like not very many like sagittal like bilateral
Yeah,
exercises
yeah.
that you can do and like he okay. Yeah, I feel yeah, he like gives you like several different things you could do. So like hypothetically you could give yourself like an A day and a B day and it would be fine. And like, you'd survive maybe. Yeah, like staring down the barrel A day, B day. I'm really looking forward to phase 4, to be honest with you.
That's the one thing I really look forward to because I'm done with this. I really hate because every fucking Friday, man, look going and waking up and thinking like, fuck, dude, I gotta go on the 33rd because the thing is like, again, it's the high amount of reps because I really hate the high amount of reps. Like, sure, doing like 90%, 95% like 1-2 reps is awful as well, but it's like so much. Like, for me, mentally, just it's like I'm thinking, okay, I have like 2 reps to do. That's it. Instead of going in, I'm like, I have 15, and you do 5. You're like, I have 10 more, and you do another. Like, I've got 5 more, and then like that was round 1. We're doing it again. I'm like, fuck. It's like mentally, that really like
Yeah.
it breaks you. Like unless you're just really strong on that. So I was so fucking damn close of not making it 15 all 3 rounds there on deadlifts, And I'm like, but again, I think I actually made it because of my shoulder. I guess I kind of didn't do squats and stuff, but yeah, dude, like it's just, I had to still go to like a zone. I was like, fuck no, I'm not fucking, I'm making this 15. Like, I made this 15.
Yeah, I truly wish we could have done this together in the same area
Ooh,
because
we
that
might
would
have,
have been fun. I mean, like, there's no way that we could have done it like together, but it would have been fun to do it. Yeah, it
yeah,
would have been fun to do like the triphasic days or like the stim days together.
yeah. No, honestly, that would have been a good time. But not the Cajon. Cajon can go fuck.
Considering I'm using like 100 pounds more than you are in the kitchen on like every exercise. Oh man, I'm
That's
truly afraid.
that's the kangaroo life, man.
I'm like truly scared of like of the round 3 Cajun or the phase 3 Cajun because like I just think like I'm gonna try to send it really hard to get like 405 on deads in phase 2 for the Cajun and like 315 on squat. And then like I'm gonna struggle to get 10 for 3 rounds on that stuff, and then phase 3 comes in. And it's just like great. Now I have to do 3 rounds of 15 with less rest with those numbers. So it's time to die.
That's what I mean, man. That's the thing. That's like when you think about it, when you say like that to yourself, you're like, I'm dying. Like, there's no avoiding it because you're really like, yeah. But then you think about it more. You talk like, fuck, fuck, fuck. It's
Yeah.
just not fun.
I
That's
just, yeah, I don't know. I just have no regard for my personal safety with the Cajun. That's really where I'm at. So, whatever. We are all going to die.
I don't mind dying from that though, to be honest. Rather that than something else.
But you know what? I think this is a good place to end. We've talked about our favorite books. We've talked about my article. We've talked about the state of many different things of what's it called? The fitness industry of websites and blogs. We've talked about coronavirus. We went off on our weekly rant about Mass 2 and how much you hate Phase 3. um, we've talked about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
You basically covered it all.
So, yeah, This is your co-host Declan Morrissey, with 3 R's, 1 S, 7 Y's, 4 M's, and that's Artem Brusensov, Brusentov, whatever. He also says goodbye.
Yes, fam.
You're gonna have to be the one to stop the recording. So
Yeah. So goodbye, and world, hold on. We're gonna make it through this. Pun intended. Just so you people know. Thank you very much. Bye bye.